Namaste, Om Namah Shivaya. In this video, we are going to discuss about yoga therapy. What is yoga therapy? How does it work? And what is the principle of yoga therapy? So, yoga therapy is the application of yogic practices and principles to address the specific need of physical, mental, spiritual and emotional health of individual. So, and it's a holistic approach, and yoga therapy is the process of empowering an individual towards his or her improved health and well-being. So you will see that the normal yoga classes and the therapy classes are different. They are not same. When an individual meets an yoga therapist with some physical or mental conditions, then the yoga therapist conducts a thorough assessment of his or her health condition, history, even family history, his or her health history, current condition of health of that individual, and also he will assess the lifestyle of that individual. So why this assessment? Just to know the root cause of the problem of that individual. Then based on the assessment, the yoga therapist will design some yogic practices which are suitable for that individual based on the physical and mental conditions of that individual, which may include Shatkriya, Sukshma Vyayama, Asana, loosening practices, then diet, including lifestyle modifications. And he will also explain that why the normal practices, generally whatever we are practicing in the normal yoga classes, why some of those practices are not suitable for that individual, and based on the conditions of that individual, some practices may be modified. Like if the individual is having back pain, severe back pain, so the normal forward bendings which we are practicing in the normal yoga classes, those practices will not be suitable for him or her, and those forward bending will definitely worsen the back pain. So that's why the yoga therapist will explain why these practices are not suitable for that individual. So in this way, there will be a collaborative and supportive relationship between these two, the yoga therapist and the individual or the client. Then only they will work for the total health and well-being. That's a holistic approach. So the principle of yoga therapy is based on the Panchakosha. And Panchakosha, we know these are the 5 layers of human existence. And these 5 koshas are Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. The outermost layer is Annamaya Kosha, and it is formed from the food or the diet we consume. That's why the name is Annamaya Kosha. So if it is imbalanced, then we will be having many symptoms, physical symptoms of many diseases. So to strengthen our Annamaya Kosha, we need to maintain our diet, including lifestyle modifications, then Shatkriya, then Asana practices, all the loosening practices, the Sukshma Vyayama, all these practices will definitely strengthen this kosha, that is Annamaya Kosha, to reduce the physical symptoms of any diseases or to strengthen our this outer layer or this physical body. So next layer or the next sheath or kosha is Pranamaya Kosha, and this is the energy body, and this is the life force or vital force or the energy which is flowing through the nadis, that is the channels, and the energy centers called chakras. So when this kosha is disturbed or imbalanced, then you will feel depleted and lack of energy and lethargic. So to strengthen this kosha, we used to practice pranayam or the breathing exercises or different breathing practices. So all the pranayams, whether it may be Anulom Vilom, Surya Vedan, Ujjayi, Chandra Vedan or Chandra Anulom Vilom, all these practices, Brahmari, all these practices are definitely strengthening this kosha or balancing this kosha. The next layer is the mental body or the monomaya kosha, and this is the kosha or this is the layer from where all diseases are getting started. All the diseases begin from this kosha only, when your mind is agitated. Then first our monomaya kosha is affected. Just see, when you are in anger or when there is a negative emotions, just see your breathing. It is faster. And when you are calm and relaxed, then see your breathing, observe your breathing. Your breathing is slow, deep, smooth, rhythmic. That's why any agitation in your mind, any disturbance in your mind will definitely create disturbance or change the rhythm of your breathing immediately, and which will be percolating in our physical layer or the annamaya kosha. So from monomaya kosha it will be transferred to pranamaya kosha, and then the physical symptoms will be appeared. Like this the diseases are appearing. That's why strengthening this kosha is very important. And to strengthen this kosha, we are practicing dharana, different meditations, then bhajan sessions or the devotional session, because the devotional session or mantra chanting are very helpful to calm down our mind or to balance this monomaya kosha. Then comes the wisdom body or vijnanmaya kosha. And to strengthen this kosha, we need knowledge, the true knowledge. So if we attend satsang, then if we study scriptures or some good books which can really add values to our life, then this kosha will be strengthened. Because if we have correct understanding or the wisdom from our teachers, from the books, from satsang, from any other good sources, then obviously those knowledge will help us or add values in our life, and this will help us to decide what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do, what to choose, what not to choose, and what are the lifestyle modification we need to do, what are the things we need to avoid in our life, and what are the things or principles we should adopt in our life. All these things comes from knowledge. That's why this kosha is strengthened only through knowledge, acquiring knowledge. And when all these koshas are balanced, means annamaya kosha is balanced, then pranamaya kosha, then monomaya kosha, then vijnanmaya kosha is also balanced. Then your anandamaya kosha is also balanced, and anandamaya kosha represents the pure joy and spiritual connection, and tuning to the nature and karma yoga are very beneficial to strengthen our anandamaya kosha also. And when our anandamaya kosha is aligned, we can experience that profound unconditional peace, the calmness, the bliss, and this is anandamaya kosha, which is our true nature. So yoga therapy works on these 5 levels. It is not like that an individual went to meet an yoga therapist with some specific problem and yoga therapist asked them to practice some asana and pranayama, then go home. No, it's not like that. Your physical layer or annamaya kosha will be strengthened through the practice of asana, diet, shatkarma, sukshma vyayam, loosening practices. Then your pranamaya kosha will be strengthened or balanced through the practice of pranayam and other breathing practices. Then manomaya kosha will be balanced or strengthened through the practice of dharana, meditation, chanting, devotional session, bhajan, kirtan. Then your Vijnanmaya kosha will be strengthened or balanced through sharing knowledge or through the study of scriptures or good texts or satsang. Then you can balance your Anandamaya kosha. So like this, yoga therapy works on this 5 koshas so that your holistic health and well-being is achieved. So this is yoga therapy. Now we shall discuss what a yoga therapist should not do, and this is very important. First, a yoga therapist is not a doctor, so he is not authorized to diagnose any disease. So the doctors will diagnose what disease or what problem that individual is having. Then based on that report, you as an yoga therapist can design the suitable yogic practices for that individual. This is the first rule. Second rule, a yoga therapist is not authorized to prescribe medicine, or he should not ask anyone to stop taking medicine. This is not in the scope of yoga therapist. This is only in the scope of doctor. They can only decide whether to stop the medicine or to continue. The third rule is the yoga therapist should not ask the participant to do any practice which is not in the scope of that yoga therapist. This is also very important. The fourth point is the yoga therapist should consider the contraindications of any yogic practices depending on the conditions, health conditions of that individual. So this is also a very important point. And number 5, very important, a yoga therapist should not make any false claim or false promise. Yoga therapy is not the cure for any disease. It's a supportive practice for health and well-being. So, and as a yoga therapist, we should not claim that yoga therapy can cure any disease. No, this is wrong. This is a supportive practice only. So, with the regular practice of yoga therapy, your health and well-being may be improved. So yoga therapy is a holistic approach to empower the individual or any individual towards improved holistic health and well-being. So keep practicing and adopt the yogic principles and practices in your daily life and stay healthy. Namaste.